All right, guys, today's guest is a guy who doesn't talk about motivation. He talks about readiness. Shane Griffin is the founder of Griffin Performance and Strategy Group and the founder of and CEO of Vitamin Patch Club. His journey is anything but typical, from running high-pressure nightlife operations in Toronto to rebuilding his life around discipline, execution, and high-performance systems. What stands out about Shane is his standards. He's not interested in hype, shortcuts, or surface-level self-improvement. His work is about structure, accountability, and doing what works when uncomfortable. The stuff that actually changes people. Today, we're talking about pressure, rebuilding your identity, what readiness really means, and the habits that separate people who want results from the ones who actually earn them. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Shane to the show.
Stronger, smarter, faster, healthier, better.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Appreciate you coming on. This was fun. So you brought us some goodies.
I did.
Okay.
I did. I just wanted to correct one thing in the intro.
Yes.
No offense.
No.
I sold Vitamin Patch Club.
Oh, you
last
sold
year.
it?
Yeah. I've been
Congrats.
for 7 years.
Yeah.
CEO, we exited last year. What I'm going to introduce to you is our new product that's been on the market for a year.
Perfect. Let's talk about it.
I had an overlap where I knew I was exiting VPC.
Okay.
So I decided I should start something as a little side hustle just because this brain cannot be unoccupied.
Okay.
And VPC occupied all of my time.
Okay.
So I started this as like a side hustle, and it's grown into a business that is already surpassing VPC in a year.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So,
So what do we got here?
electrolytes,
All right.
straightforward. Citrus salts. So we've got 2 of our flavors here. We've got a raspberry incoming, strawberry kiwi incoming, a fruit punch incoming. We're on US Amazon. I can drop you a link and show you all that.
Yeah.
And it's just, for the body, man. You
Yeah.
sweat, you work out. Electrolytes are important in the morning. Homeostasis,
Mm-hmm.
create balance in the body. We need it.
Mm-hmm.
They are salty. I forewarn people.
Yeah.
So-
Isn't it interesting how people, when they want to try electrolytes, like, okay, let's try it. Then like, oh, this is too salty. It's like, what do you think electrolytes are?
That's what we're supposed to be giving you.
Yes.
And there's 0 sugar, 0 calories. They're keto friendly and all the other whatever's trending today.
Yeah.
In the diet culture. But they're delicious. They're really good. So I brought you some, and I
appreciate that.
And
So right now I'm trying the citrus one.
is this your first sip?
This is my first sip
live.
on air. Let's see.
Well, recorded for you guys, but live for him.
That is definitely salty, but I love citrus.
Yeah.
And I don't mind I like the citrusy, salty kind of taste. I love it.
It's salty.
Which one did you try?
The citrus.
It's salty, right?
I don't find it salty at all.
You don't? Oh, I love you. I love you. Come, take my seat, promote.
I don't find it. I like salt though. Like I said, I'm not like big sweets person, but like
To put it in perspective, when we have like meetings and we eat like sushi during the meetings, that soya sauce is rained down on it.
well, he puts it on like for us first, and then like I need my little container. But
And then she hides it.
She's the deer that gets shot at the Salt Lick.
100%.
You're the first deer to get shot. You're the doe? You're the doe that gets shot first.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Aaron will do.
She'll be okay.
She'll be okay. Yeah, let her go and taste the salt. Aaron, right? Oh my God, I got that right, couldn't I?
Aaron, yeah, it's
Okay.
Aaron. Yeah.
Whew. Sorry.
he's Aaron.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's good.
Did you like it, Aaron?
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's good.
We like it.
So what wanted you to pivot away and go into electrolytes in the beginning?
Well, okay, so there's a story behind VPC, right? So if we can backtrack, I won't bore everybody with everything because I find it amazingly fascinating just because I lived it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to hear about it. I want to understand it.
I owned a wellness clinic in Santa Monica on
Mhm.
Wilshire, and it was called Whole Life Balance.
Mm-hmm.
I started that when I was still in school here, earning my certified nutritional practitioner's degree, my orthomolecular health practitioner's degree. And I can tell you what came before that part of my life later on. I started Whole Life Balance just to consult people nutritionally because I was in nutrition school and I'm like, I'm going to go fix people's nutrition. And I was really excited. Started that when I moved to LA. I incorporated some other practices into that studio. And it was I called it a wellness center for the soul.
Mm-hmm.
We had yoga, we had aerial yoga, we had Pilates, we had massage therapy, acupuncture, osteopathy. We had IV infusions, personal training, a tiny little gym in the back, one-on-one, one client at a time, and nutritional consulting. And in that process, the IVs were extremely busy. We were one of the very first storefront walk-inable approve in a second IV drip places in California. Right. And that was fantastic. The problem is I picked a pretty bad location, done a lot of street traffic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I made an uncalculated error. And we survived for about 18 months. I was able to exit that, saving my butt enough. It's not a success story, but it is a jump off story. Whole Life Balance still exists. It's a consulting firm that's migrated into different attributions and different measures. But from that, the IV, the barrier of entry that we had was people don't want to sit for an hour with an IV in their arm electively, unless you're like seriously into your health and wellness, right? And in LA, to get there for anybody was about an hour. So I'm asking you to commit 3 hours and $300 out of your life to stick a needle in you. Pretty tough barrier of entry, even though we were extremely busy. We did remote. We brought nurses, but then you had your payroll.
Yeah.
Right? You're paying them coming and going and cars and leases and mileage. So the model, great if you lived in a 15, as they call the 15-minute cities, right? If you lived in a city like that, it'd be great. But I did recognize that the clients that I was doing nutritional work with, having the IVs in them, their blood work came back fabulous, much faster than me sending them home with a bucket of supplements. So I knew supplements were not getting enough absorption, right, in the pill form and the mass manufactured. But I also knew the IV was going away because I was exiting the business. And transparency, I'm a health guy, but I still smoke. Okay. I've given up everything else except that. And I was deciding to quit smoking that week that I was getting out of Whole Life Balance. I went, and this is literally, I can still watch me getting on my little bike, riding down Wilshire to the Walgreens, and the pharmacist there knew me. And I have rights in California to write prescriptions under a medical governorship because I had a medical director. So not narcotics or anything, but like small supplemental things that were private label. So I wrote myself a prescription to Chantix. And I walked into Walgreens and I said to Debbie, the counter girl, it was the pharmacist. I knew her because we're in there all the time with clients. Today, Deb, how you doing? She's like, good. I'm like, everything well today? And she's like, yeah, it's Household Life Balance. I said, I'm actually closing it down. I'm going to pivot into something else. Just don't know what yet. Probably just do my consulting. Life is good there. I make money there.
Yeah.
And I handed her the Chantix, and she knows my history, which we'll discuss with as a recovering addict. And she said, I do not think this is the best thing for you. And she said, why? I said, there's addiction properties in this. And knowing you, Shane, I said, okay, fair enough. She goes, and it's a federal crime for you to write a prescription to yourself. So, okay. And so fortunately, I was able to walk out.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you think I should do for quitting smoking then? And she said, just grab some patches, Nicoderms. And I said, do they work? Honestly, do they work? She goes, yeah. People quit smoking on them all the time. And I had a light bulb. I'm like, if we can deliver nicotine through skin, why can't we deliver vitamins? I avoid the GI tract where you can get higher absorption rates, where you can get right into our bloodstream, avoid liver, avoid acid in our stomach.
Better bioavailability, right?
Yeah. And we don't have to have any binders, any chelation, any fillers. So it can survive our GI tract. So we get all of the processed crap out. Colors, dyes, gelatins, however it's encapsulated. And we get it right in the skin and time released, which is even better because you take a B12 in the morning, it absorbs in 45 minutes. You're immediately shoveling out that B12 into your body. Like you're immediately depleting it. So as if ever you're going down, imagine you have a little hole in the bottom of a water bucket. As it's leaking out, you have a constant drip in the top. Drip one, drip one, drip one. It's going to balance itself. So that was my concept.
Gotcha.
So VPC was born. And then, as I mentioned before the podcast, it became a monster and we did everything in-house. So we did all of our ad creatives. We did all of our UGC. We ran all of our Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Meta, Twitter, even marketing, UGC creations, all of our customer service, all of our email marketing, everything. Anybody that's in income, I'm talking about all of it. And I didn't have a big team. It was me, my CFO, and a couple 1099s that were like assistants or helpers, right? But it was largely me. And then the plant that manufactured the product, which was in Ohio, which was 150 people, which is another operation to manage, right? So supply chain. Anyways, it was overwhelming. It grew. It's great. New category. A lot of fun to build a new category, new space, but extremely challenging because there's haters and there's people that you can't argue online.
Yeah.
There's no point.
Yeah.
This is snake oil. And I'm like, all right, sure. Don't buy it. You don't have to comment like a jerk either, but
Yeah.
And then we showed testing and variations and all that stuff. You can't win over a hater. So we didn't worry about it.
Yeah.
But we grew and we grew and we grew. And I'm really pleased with what we did with it. And my bigger happiness was that we were good enough that equity groups started reaching out to me.
Yeah. They started seeing you.
And they said, we want to buy you. Your growth is amazing. Your brand identity is great. I put it off for a couple of years. And then when I moved back to Canada, operating the U.S. entity with manufacturing, supply chain, all the things I was doing, I'm like, maybe I should take a hard look at this. And I did. So I cleaned up the balance sheet for a year, which is the longest answer you've ever had to how I got to this.
But it's a good answer.
Thank you. I exited, really happy with the exit. Great firm out of Utah picked us up. They've got a wonderful, explosive expansion idea. They're going to go hard into retail, hard into affiliate, hard into email marketing. They've already brought in 2 new products. So it's kind of like seeing your child get another degree. I don't have kids, so I'm assuming that's what it's like for parents.
Yeah.
But when they maybe get a belt in a martial art, or they're the lead in a play, you're seeing your child develop.
It's a level. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like you're handing it off to somebody else to develop it, right? You're like, here you go. I guess maybe like a little bit like a martial art here. Teach my child something I can't teach them. And then they're good at it. And you're like, hey, wow, cool.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see what they've done. They've had a pretty good first year, created new products. They've got a male enhancement product, and they've got Ozempic-ish product. It's not a GLP, it's not a peptide, but they're using organic, natural ingredients. And both of those markets are huge. So I think they're going to do really well. So I'm excited to see what they do. And I just needed a side project. I'm like, I got to do something. I work out, I sauna, I cold plunge. I was taking tons of amino acids. I just decided I'd just do electrolytes. And to be honest with you, we did 5 other products before we settled on electrolytes. I've got a dog treat called Bob's Bites. All right. So I just wanted to get in the Amazon market. That's really what if I'm going to be honest, the driving purpose was, what can I sell on Amazon? Because they handle everything.
Yeah.
I just have to order and get it shipped. I have to fill out some FBA UPC codes. It's a lot more complicated than that, folks. Trust me. And you have to be willing to lose a lot of products. Trust me. We did glass reusable straws.
Dog treats, reusable straws.
Yeah.
I like it.
We did obviously the electrolytes. What's the other one that failed on us? Oh, the under eye patches for the wrinkles.
Okay.
Right. We did those. They all work great, but we couldn't crack a code on Amazon. The Bob's Bites, I really hoped, because that's my dog. My dog's Bob. Bob's my boxer. He's usually with me. Literally, he's with me every service dog. I just didn't bring him because I knew it was a gym, and sometimes it's a little
fair.
Anyways, so Bob's Bites, I was really hoping would be the home run because you're an animal product.
Yeah.
And, babies and animals, 2 things that never hit a depression or a recession. But the electrolytes broke through.
That's awesome.
We got a little bit of luck, a lot of hard work, and we're number 3 on Amazon in the US right now for electrolytes.
Perfect.
So out of 100,000 products in 1 year to get number 3.
Not that bad. Okay.
I'm holding on.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a rocket ship right now.
I wanted to go back to the IV drips because that's starting to blow up a lot. What should people be looking for in an IV drip? How do they know if the place is good? You know what I mean? Like what questions should they be asking?
Absolutely. So look, IVs we had one in Toronto on King Street. The franchised it, didn't work so well. But it was new. It was interesting. So to answer your question, sterility, sterile of an environment, right? This is a compound going into your bloodstream.
Okay.
Right. It's proper storage of chemicals, of the nutrients. We had a medical grade hood, medical grade fridge, medical grade everything. We're mixed with gloves. We're mixing the IV bags in a hypo chamber, right? With, I think it was 100,000 micro, I forget the filter, but a micron filter that's makes a HEPA filter in a vacuum look like
Okay.
a screen door.
Okay.
So, so sterility is a big thing, and their understanding. And you're taking me back a little bit here. So the viscosity, our blood has a certain level of viscosity that when you're introducing a IV with different concentrations, milligrams, micrograms, it has to maintain that similar viscosity, or you can have cardiac issues, you can have liver or kidney issues. So a clear understanding of how to actually mix the components. Like as an example, high dose vitamin C, which lots of people were trending about 5 years ago. Everyone's like, high dose, I want 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C and da-da-da-da. Well, we can give you that, but it's a 4-hour drip. You're going to be sitting there with a very slow titration, a very slow dilution. It's going to be slow, because your body cannot absorb that much at that time. You can't do a solid push. Like an NAD+, you can have your IV line in there, and you can actually, what we just do is called a push. There's a little line that sticks out, and you can actually fill up a syringe and just put it right into the line from the side. It can absorb that, no problem. L-carnitine can be done that way. Biotin, B7 can be done that way. But generally speaking, an understanding of osmolarity, that's the word. Osmolarity is the viscosity that I was mentioning. That's what you need to sit. You need to be between 400 and 600 osmolarity, and all the compounds have different osmolarities. So that determines how big of a liter bag you're going to give, 500 mil, 1,000 mil in the drip process. As far as what you need for you, right? It's a matter of, kind of goes to my consulting firm. You got to get honest with where you're shitting the bed, what you're not doing for yourself, and what you're expecting some magic Band-Aid to do for you. I have this conversation with clients all the time, right? There is no magic pill to make you feel better. There's honesty with what you're not directing your resources to. So like if somebody wants to go in, and I'm not against semaglutides or any of that, I think if you can get a head start on something, but if you don't do the lifestyle changes, which goes back to the IVs, great. You get something that's going to reduce inflammation. That's amazing. But what else are you eating? So you're going to eat like crap, create inflammation in the body, then take a bag to get rid of it. How about you find it if you're genetically dispositioned to have inflammation, eat better to reduce inflammation. And if you still have it, then let's use the science, right? But there's a lot of cop-outs along the way of people just going, well, it's, I'll just get a bag and I'll get, so reduction. So you got to be really honest with yourself of what you need, and then what you can fix it by yourself, and then what you're going to have to outsource to services. Much like your gym, I can come in here and lift. I'll have a great workout. I bet if I work out with you or a personal trainer in here, I'm going to get a better one because they're going to assign to my weaknesses, keep me in line. I can do good on my own. It's great to have a coach.
Always.
Right?
Yeah.
And you'll do better. Better than great. That's a pretty good goal to have.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. That goes off actually to my first original question was, what was the moment where you realized that the life you built before was working more externally, but breaking you internally? So you hinted at it a little bit before, but what was your original status of business?
Okay. So we're going back to 24. I'm 50 now. 24 years old, I opened my first nightclub in Toronto.
Are you able to say what was it called?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Therapy Lounge. Therapy Lounge was my first one. I was involved with a friend, kind of associated with a club called Casino Lounge.
Okay.
Right. A friend of mine was an owner there, and I was trying to buy it, and I had privileges, shall we say. But my true ownership came at Therapy Lounge. And the reason I mentioned Casino Lounge is because there was a night that it was closed for a private event. And I was in the VIP, and I was involved in a limo company at the time. So I had a limo full of like 20, 30 girls in it. And I was showing up to the VIP, one of the buses, right? And they're just friends. I'm not trying to be like cool Daddy Joe like I had during that. Like, I'm not trying to be like big dog over here. Trust me. I know it's alpha, but I'm 5'5", and I've been this bald for a long time, folks. Right? I was not getting plucked as the lead wolf, right? I had good looking guy friends that had that cornered. But I did have these girls that were coming to the VIP, and they're going to be in my booth. And then we set the standard for the night, right? 2 bottles of champagne, 2 bottles of this. And then the next booth wants to outdo the booth with the young guy with the girls because the money's in the next booth. And it just trickle effects to the last guy who's buying 10 bottles. So it was in the club's best interest to give me 2 bottles for free because the next guy would buy 4.
It was a strategy.
Yeah. And so, and I had a lot of young, I was young, I was 24. Girls that I knew were like 21 to 24. They're like, free booze at a club? Sign me up.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like a big brother, honestly, to a lot of them. There was no shenanigans.
Mhm.
Right. So anyways, get down to the club. It's a regular Saturday night. Jesse, who was one of the owners there, said, Shane, it's private. Well, what do you mean it's private? He's like, I need to send you to another club. So I went to Inside, which was on Richmond Street.
Mm-hmm.
And Blake was doing the front door. He's a good friend of mine now. I walked out and I said to him, I said, hey, buddy, I'm one of the owners over at Casino Lounge. I got 30 girls in the bus. We'll do a contra deal or something. Blake, who looks like John Cena, right? He turns around. He goes, you're not an owner. He goes, you're just a VIP kid. Never been so embarrassed. Busload of people. I was humiliated. Across the road was a restaurant called Mr. Pong's Chinese Food.
Mm-hmm.
It had a for sale sign in the window.
Mm-hmm.
I walked across and bought the building.
Yeah, he pulled trigger.
Because I looked at Blake and I said, you're going to work for me one day. You're right. I'm not an owner, but you're going to work for me one day. And we had a joke about it many years later because he did work for me for 7 years.
Oh, did he?
I opened Mr. Pong's. I went in and negotiated with Lake Pong, who was the owner. Called my parents at like 3 a.m. Said, I think I just bought a building downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Tiger Realty was his own realty firm.
Okay.
Right. So he was able to broker the deal. It was very convoluted. Lake Pong and
Like, over convoluted?
Lake was up on charges for weapons and was facing prison time and was,
Yeah.
I didn't know any of this, diluting assets or getting rid of assets.
Crazy.
Yeah. Like shit was going on. So I just walked into a Chinese food restaurant, like you said, for sale. I want to buy the building. And it was a terrible building, semi-detached, but we did a gorgeous job. Built Therapy Lounge. And then I acquired Money Nightclub next door. So I had Money Nightclub and Machine Head and Purgatory. Those are my four places downtown. And alluding to my past, I had no measuring stick of what a nightclub owner was.
Mm.
I thought it was Benny Blanco,
Yeah.
Carlitos Way.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was my image of club or Saturday Night Fever, Studio 54. Everyone just coked up and having sex.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a little bit of a gangster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not true.
No?
Business is business, right?
Yeah.
I mean, either you're an operator or you're not.
Mm.
I didn't know that then. So I would put on a character that I stepped into. This has all been revealed over the years of many, many years of therapy and reflection. But I created a character of Shane Griffin, club owner, persona.
Mm-hmm.
And Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, I stepped into that character. I was wild. I did tons of coke, drank all the time, was a womanizer. Not proud of any of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm extremely grateful I did because it's brought me to where I am. There's a saying that I've been asked, would you change anything? Would you do things differently if you had the chance? I said I would change. I always say I would change everything and nothing at all.
Mm.
Like it's just where we are. Anyways, I partied like a rock star, as they say. Had the cars, had the women, had the lifestyle, but I was a shell of a human. I didn't like who I saw in the mirror. It wasn't authentic.
Mm-hmm.
I was still a kind man. I was still an empathetic man, but God, you couldn't show that. So I had no role models in the club business. And I've come to get to know several people that were competitors of mine who have now built empires. They never did coke in the bathrooms with guests.
Mm-hmm.
They'd do a shot with a premium VIP customer, but then they would wander off to the office and actually look at the books, see what their occupancy was at that night, right? Think about where they're going to go next, what their next DJ, like be booking events, planning. I didn't have that. I was just a really good partier, which did work for the clubs because if I could have a good time in a space that I've been in 100 times, I promise you will. But it was just killing me.
When did you feel that hollowness or that sadness, like more in the morning, at night? There had to been moments where because everybody has those moments in the day where they talk to themselves, or they feel those real feelings, and then they have to go on about work. When did you start feeling that?
So we won't put it to an exact time because it depended on how late I stayed up and partied. But it was always the next time I came back to life, hungover, withdrawal. Like I would go from Thursday to Sunday, hard, no sleep. Just change your clothes, shower, and go back. So I would go to after hours after my club closed to a condo party, shower change. My club would be reopened. I'd go again all night to another after hours. Not every weekend, but a lot of them.
But most of it.
So I'd get home sometimes Monday mornings at 10 a.m. and crash terribly. And then I'd wake up on Tuesday night usually, and you just feel like a loser.
Mm.
There's an analogy I use with people. You feel shame. You feel like you've wasted your time. Your body is near death. The worst is that if you have had ever self-respect, if you look at it like letters on a wall, it's like you're slowly erasing the letters. You know, it's like it's a chalkboard that says self-respect, and you're just slowly, every day you wake up and you're just taking, now it's self-respect, self-respect, and eventually you're going to have none of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the visual I give, and it can be fast for some people, it can be very slow for some people. For me, it was, almost 2 decades of partying. Like I got sober at 37. I started really getting into it around 19. So I went really hard for a long time, and people liked me. I wasn't a jerk to people because I had the clubs. I had enough influence that I could get away with being kind of an asshole, right? Which is terrible.
Yeah, people could be like, oh, he's just egocentric. I would get, like agitated too if I own all those businesses. Like people would make those excuses.
Yeah, and people want something from me. You were one of the hottest places, right?
Yeah.
So like people want to get in the line, like just put up with Shane for about an hour and you'll go off and party with somebody else. I don't know if anybody ever said that, but I still think of those things, right? Because you dismissed people a little bit because you're the king of your own little castle, which is so fucking bullshit. It's so small thinking. It's so useless. Over time, I just really started waking up and saying, I don't want to be this guy. But I didn't have any balls. So I didn't have any courage. Life was still fun, so I was like, well, I can feel like shit for 5 hours a day. As soon as you have one more drink, one more toot, you're back into it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish the dislike and despair that I now know I truly had on anyone ever. I'd rather you take a whip and hit me and feel physical pain than emotional trauma. It's a burden. It's a horrible burden to live with, to look in the mirror and not like who you see, and then be questionable. If you don't like you, then how do you truly love anyone else? So all your relationships are tainted. Right? Because we don't have self-respect. I can respect you today 1,000%. You interviewed me 20 years ago, I'm like some fucking guy with the podcast.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be like, without even knowing or having the opportunity to meet you and get to know you. So you're narrow-minded, you're self-involved, you're not dependable, you're not reliable, you're not accountable to yourself or anyone else. And I think our bodies know that. I don't care if you're strung out doing heroin on the street, that you're all of those things, and that just eats at your core, at your human thing. You know, right? It could be deep inside, but you feel it, right? It's just the same thing. It's like, when you're happy, you know when you're sad, when something's missing. Yeah. And it can add and chip away at you. Yeah. It's a horrible way to live.
Yeah.
Horrible way to live as a false persona, being not who you should authentically be. I'm so grateful that I'm not there anymore. Like beyond, I have zero desire to drink, zero desire. It's like once I went to rehab, I was like, I'm so done. And the rehab came about 37. Like I sold my clubs and buildings. I sold my buildings. I owned the properties. Sold them to the DeGasperis Group, Aspen Ridge Homes. They built towers. They're their condos now. And I had 2 years where I didn't have the clubs, but I had the lifestyle. And those were the worst 2 years of my life.
But why?
Because I didn't have the stage. So I've used this analogy when I'm speaking at lectures is I had a Broadway production. I could show up to the party half cut, half drunk, because it was a party. I never had to make a morning event with a family event because the answer was, well, he was doing cash out. Of course, he's in the club business. He can't come to the wedding Sunday at 10 a.m. So I get out of work at 5 a.m. Meanwhile, that had nothing to do with it. I could have left my club any night. I had great managers. I could have gone home at 11:30, being a good boy, and beat up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no. But it was a stage. I had makeup and dress rehearsals, and then all of a sudden the stage was gone, and it was just like the backdrop and the co-stars of the show, the Shane show, and now you're on stage with the spotlight and you're naked. You have and I couldn't keep up with
It's
it. Just you and no excuses. And I tried to enter kind of like the real world. I thought I'm this great business guy because I built these clubs and, I sold the buildings and I made money. And that's all that defined me. I said, I'll start another company. No problem. Do it once, I'll do it 1,000 times. I'm brilliant. Well, I'm not. I wasn't. I certainly wasn't. I'm still not. Man, it was hard. I couldn't get up. I had meetings with my partner in my kitchen at 3 a.m. after we'd both had 4 hours of drinking at a local pub and then busting out blow, deciding how we're going to build a business that was supposed to start at 7 a.m. the next day. And you wonder why it didn't work? I didn't do the accounting. I didn't do the strategic planning. I didn't do the purchase orders. I didn't do all the stuff on time because I didn't get out of bed till 3 the next day. We were 2 days behind on everything because of our actions. And he didn't get up and go to the job and do the work. And then we ended up having a huge blow up, and it was neither of our faults. It was his fault and it was your fault. Like it was everybody else's fault except this guy. So that's when I went to rehab.
I know people will ask this, but what was the turning point where like, I have to sell this. I have to go to rehab. Do you feel comfortable saying like what?
Absolutely.
What was that turning point?
It's a story of tremendous courage and compassion, neither by me. So I went on a trip. So how do I phrase this? I'm going to look like an asshole to be honest. If I'm not going to look like an asshole, but I was an asshole. At that time, women were possessions that were able to be purchased.
That's how you viewed it.
The guys on TV, the athletes, the superstars had beautiful women with them because they had a Ferrari, Porsche, Rolls Royce, or money. I aspired to be those guys. So women were a accoutrement. There was a girl that cheated on me that broke my heart. And I went down to Ontario Place, rode a boat, and I drank that whole summer. It was the last summer before I went to rehab. I just did copious amounts of drugs and drank. I mean, I was out of the club scene, I was partying, but there was this one girl on the dock who was a school teacher. She didn't party. She was a really nice human. I still know her. And I'll say her first name, but it's Christina. All right. And I invited her to Greece because I liked this girl. Rebounding. She thought I was fun.
Yeah.
And she was Greek. So she said, "Oh, I'll come to Greece." So she goes, "But like, not that way. Like we're going as friends, and I'll be like your tour guide. We're going to stay a week in my village, and I'll show you all around the beautiful parts of Greece." And the jerk said, "If I fly her first class, get a private jet to Mykonos, get a yacht in Santorini, if I put this all together by date 10, we're in there." And where I say compassion and courage is, she asked me not to do one thing, and that was drink in her village and drive. And I did. And I wrecked the car. I fractured an orbital, broke my nose, fractured a rib. She wasn't in the car. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. But somehow I managed to get that car back up to and I shit you not, castle that I rented because I wanted to impress her. She didn't even stay there, by the way. She stayed with her family. So that was stupid of me. But I rented not the whole castle, the turret, right? But it was, I got the car to parking. She busted in the next day, worried because I never showed up at the beach in the morning. I had severe concussion. I was mangled. I told her I was carjacked by Albanians, which I don't know where that came from. And she said, "Shane, the club is an outdoor club. I watched you drive away and wreck the car." Oh, she goes, "So I think you're a great guy." This is where she had compassion. She could have just gone wild on me. Her compassion was, "Shane, you're a great guy. I've seen sides of you with your friends where you do things that nobody does for their friends, silently, without recognition." I said, "Okay." She goes, "But I can't travel the rest of this trip with you." That's where the courage comes in. She goes, "I'm not going to go on the rest. I'm going to stay here where I'm safe. I don't trust you on this trip." So I went on the rest of the vacation by myself in a language I don't speak, and I sobered up temporarily. I just didn't drink by myself and do drugs by myself. And then I had a wonderful meeting with who's become a very good friend of mine. I've known him since film festival, but Robert De Niro. So Bobby was in, I was planning on,
Just an occasional
he's a good friend.
name.
Yeah. Well,
I think I've seen a couple of his movies.
yeah, he's a little known actor. Bobby's a sweet man. And he knew I was going to be in Mykonos. So he was taking a break from filming. I forget the movie, but it was filmed in Europe, and there was lots of car. It was a thief movie that he got set up.
I think I've actually seen that movie. That was a good movie.
The one where he gets thrown off the bridge.
I think I've seen. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I forget the name of it. It's going back. I'm sober 13 years, so this is.
Are you looking up the movie? Is Stacy looking up the movie?
Yes.
What year do you think it was filmed in?
I'm sober 13 years, and it would have been the year I got sober. So it would have been, what are we in 2026? So that's 2010. Would have been filmed in 2009.
Tin Soldier.
Could be that.
Was it filmed in?
It's filmed in Greece.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
So
Shout out to Robert De Niro if he's watching.
Bobby, come on.
Jamie Foxx and Scott Eastwood.
That's it.
Okay, there you go.
That's it, because that's how I met Jamie too.
See?
Yeah. Jamie ended up coming to her. I knew Jamie before at the clubs.
Love it.
And I knew Bobby because he did openers for film festival at my club. So I knew him and I met him, and he liked me. So we kept in touch a little bit. This is like when text was a big thing. Text was new. Remember? C3.
Oh yeah.
ABC.
That was the worst to be in a fight with.
I think I might have had a BlackBerry by then.
Oh, Blackberries were bomb.
Yeah. So anyways, Bobby decided that I was using Bobby to impress the girl, really. I'm like, hey man, come down to Mykonos, get the suite beside me. We'll just casually bump into each other. And she's gonna be like, oh my God, Robert De Niro. Right. So it's kind of a big setup. But long story short, Bobby's at the hotel next to me. And so let me back this up because I want to give Christine the proper credit. She was courageous and compassionate, made me go on the rest of this trip to discover what a fuck up I was. First time in my life that something had been taken away from me due to alcohol. Everything else had been provided. Because in the clubs I was popular, cool, liked, built businesses. So the coke and drugs amplified a terrible character, but my presence. Finally wanted something and was like, nope, can't have it. I'm like, well, what's the one common denominator? So I started thinking. Fast forward to a week later, Mykonos. Bobby's in the room next to me. We walk out. I won't do a Bobby impression. I can't do it. But he looks at me. Hey, how you doing? He goes, you look, what the fuck happened? I'm like, I had a car accident in Greece. And he goes, where's the girl? I said, And I was awful. I'm like, she just used me to go over here. She's, money hungry, blah, 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 blah. I made all kinds of excuses that she was a horrible human because I hadn't appreciated what she had done yet. Right. I was hurt and embarrassed. And fuck her. And the car was insured. Nobody got hurt. They sent another Mercedes. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
All right. Like they didn't get arrested.
Yeah, everybody's okay.
Yeah. Like that was literally how simple I was. And I was, let's go grab dinner. So we're having a glass of wine. He looks at me, and it was one of the most impactful things that made me really decide. I'm not doing anything about it yet, but decide. He looked at me and he said, he goes, Shane, be an actor for a while. And I said, yeah. And he goes, I produce, I direct. I make movies. I tell stories. He's leaning into me telling me, I'm like, yeah, okay. He goes, I gotta be fucking honest with you, kid. He goes, I don't think I could ever tell your story in Hollywood. I said, well, why? It's a great story. This kid from the suburbs, open clubs in the city, travels private jet. It's boogie nights.
Yeah.
Like different industry.
Yeah.
But like it's Studio 54. Like he goes, yeah, but in Hollywood we make happy endings. And you, my friend, not going to be a happy ending. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. Because it's somebody I looked up to, somebody I cared about, somebody that I thought was wise, who wasn't dismissing me, but was telling me the real. One of the first times I've had real in my real. And I was like, because still a part of my ego back then was like, well, how will I be famous then? Can't make a movie on me. Do I got to die? Well, then I can't appreciate the famousness.
Yeah.
Right. So that was the big part of my brain shift, that this might have to change. Life might have to change. fast forward to about 2 months later. The next person with kindness and courage and compassion was my older brother. I'd mentioned to friends that I was thinking about going to rehab. Always drunk and always high is when I'd mention it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't keep doing this. I got to go to rehab. You know, my buddies would say, tell me when you're sober. Call me at 9 a.m. and tell me you want to go and we'll go. Right? But don't tell me when you're drunk. You're an idiot. So one of my friends and my brother noticed something on a Halloween he said, you looked desperately alone, in his words he used. He said, you came to our house for Halloween to see the kids. Brother's got 4 beautiful kids, all adults now. But they were young, you know, between 6 and 13, maybe even 5, whatever. You get my point. They're young. And I seen them all in their costumes and Uncle Shane's fun. And I wasn't ever drunk or high around the kids. It wasn't like I was a stumble down. It was private time stuff, right? My brother said, you looked lonely. Like you didn't want to leave on Halloween. You wanted to stay here. You didn't want to go home because I sent something. And then I guess one of my other friends also mentioned him that Shane's thinking about rehab. My brother's, you want to talk alpha, my older brother. Like he is just strategic and brilliant, hardworking, great father, a superb husband. His business accelerates constantly. He's thinking 4D chess, the way he builds and grows his company. I have a ton of reverence for my brother and admire him greatly. And he just called me up and said, meet me one day. And he's like, hey, you know, I love you, right? That's a weird thing for my brother to start a sentence with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, are mom and dad all right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, they're fine. I figure I'm getting bad news. Somebody's dead. He goes, I go, mom and dad, they're fine. I go, kids okay? Is there Nancy, his wife? Okay. Are you okay? It's like, yeah. He goes, but I think you don't think you're okay. And he had the best backhanded compliment in the world. He goes, look, you left the family business that was doing X amount of money that I'm going to take over and you would have a place in your whole life. You'd have a great life. Well paid.
Mm-hmm.
Security till you're dead. Because you left to open a nightclub. That's like the #1 failure. He goes, and you know what? By 7 years into it, you're one of the largest nightclubs, certainly one of the largest landowning nightclubs owners in the city.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, so can we agree you're not a total idiot? And that's kind of the backhand. I'm like, okay, where are we going?
Yeah, I'm not a total idiot.
Yeah, I guess I did something that was hard. And he looked at me, he just basically said, so if you think you have a problem, you probably do. And I got a plane waiting at an airport. And if you're willing to hop on it, I'll take you to rehab. And if you don't, I'll never bring it up again.
Mm.
There wasn't you're killing yourself. There wasn't this militant, aggressive. It was like, I love you. I think you know something's wrong. Here's a hand. Let's get you out of the cold water. Let's dry you off. Let's put you in a new outfit.
Mm.
And to this day, there isn't a fiber of my being that thinks I'd be alive if it wasn't for that conversation. So it's a cataclysm. It's Christine having the courage and kindness and compassion to protect herself, but softly let me down.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bobby being real, saying, fucking dead, fucking guy. And it's my brother. Mm-hmm. And I should compliment Nancy too, his wife, because she was intricate. Clint and I had the one-on-one, but I know that she would have contributed to Clint putting this together. So I'm grateful for everyone in my family supported every fucking move, man. Like, I call my parents on the way to the airport and I'm like, so mom, dad, I'm 37. I'm not a kid going to rehab. Words were mumbled. I'm going to rehab. They didn't even know. Clint hadn't even called them. Where, when, what? And I'm like, oh, where are we going, Clint? And he's like, tell you when we're in the air. Mm. And it would end up being passages in Malibu. That was the best fucking 30 days of my life. Mm-hmm. The best. It opened up portals, clarity, goals, alignment, accountability, attribution, discipline. I said this recently I was on a morning show a month ago, I guess now. And I said, they didn't sober me up. They taught me how to live life. Mm-hmm. It's the treatment, the getting out of the booze and the drugs, that's actually really easy. Mm-hmm. If you shift how you approach, how you produce. what your process is, what your purpose is, what you are capable of. Total mind shift. Like on check-in, they looked at me and they said, "Why?" And literally, it was moment. Looked at me and they said, "Why do you think you're here? Why are you here?" I'm fucking hammered.
Then you got there hammered.
Oh, I did an 2 8-balls of Coke on the plane, drank 2 bottles of Jaeger on the plane.
Yeah, you might as well finish strong.
I just seriously thought, this is a joke. Not funny, maybe. The only thing I didn't bring in the plane was hookers. I didn't Charlie Sheen it.
That's
Came
good then.
close.
We came close? What was the deciding factor?
No, I did everything that Charlie would do. I'm friends with Charlie, that's why. Everything Charlie would do, except the hookers. I'm like that, because you're not going to call hookers as a sober man.
Yeah.
That's only a drug high thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not promoting it in any way, but I'm like, that'd be the last chance I had at like Charlie Sheen status.
Yeah.
I joke because you kind of have to, because it's a colossal fuck up. But they asked me why I'm here, and I later looked at them and said, I have no self-worth and no self-esteem. And I had never said that out loud. I didn't even know I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately I just said, and they're like, all right, well, that's what we'll work on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's as easy as, and they just 7 hours a day, one-on-one therapy at Passages, like their curriculum. I in my consulting business, I work with people in addiction recovery now, largely pro bono and the crisis management side of things, on the human performance and the structural behavior and the other stuff with GPS group. The addiction stuff, I'm centered to it. Trauma, domestic abuse survivors, PTSD, military, those are largely pro bono. But I still remember the way they impacted me. We'll work on that, met me where I was at, and then we just went into work. Now when I'm placing somebody in an addiction center, first question I ask, what's your curriculum? My God, we've got it. We're so screwed up with our priorities. You meet one psychotherapist a week, have 4 groups, and some electives.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough. I was 7 hours a day one-on-one with a therapist. I would sit for an hour like this, getting drilled with questions.
Mm-hmm.
Then I move to you. Then I move to you.
Yeah,
and then
that's definitely like all the way.
And that their curriculum and their care there was unbelievable. And it just, like I said, it opened up a portal.
So, because I know the percentage rate, I think it's like over 80% that people relapse.
Yeah, it's about 93.
Is it 93? What did you?
No, never touched a drug, never touched a
After that point?
bottle, never. No desire to. I got really lucky. I worked my ass off. I wanted to be there. That's key too. I was done. I was done being a fraud. And we learned this in rehab, so I'll walk through it. Every relationship I had was fractured because it was built on bullshit, because I wasn't my authentic self. Every girlfriend, every best friend, even the ones that I knew before drugs and alcohol. You can't be honest with everyone until you're honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're living a fractured, fraudulent life, everything around you is. I don't give a shit how much you love. If you are a piece of crap and you have these beautiful children, that's a fraudulent relationship. You can love them 1000% for eternity.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a fraud, there's a fracture in that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be you authentically, and you have to be looking for a better life. So when I got to rehab, they helped me identify things like that, your addiction stemmed from not feeling good enough about who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if you don't feel good about who you are, then you are going to bullshit, animate to make more people try to fill that void in your life that you have to fill yourself. It's a one man, one shovel job. You can come with an excavator of love. You can't fill up my own love hole.
Mm-hmm.
You can't occupy my heart.
Mm-hmm.
You can contribute to it. You can hold it and pump it. You can give me compressions, but you cannot make it work on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a self-driven philosophy, really. So I got very lucky. I got so lucky. When I went there, I wanted to be there. When I got out, I went right back to school. I learned this thing called structure and discipline there because there was no excuses. You got up at 6:30. You had chow by 7. and you were in your first session at 8:00.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And it was beautiful. It was Malibu. I was in Kelsey Grammer's old house. They had bought it. Lionel Richie, Kelsey Grammer, and then another Hollywood wealthy family.
Yeah.
They had 3 homes up the side of the mountain in Malibu Mountains, in Santa Monica Mountains, overlooking right across from Joffrey's on PCH, overlooking the ocean. You woke up to an ocean every morning. It was pretty awesome.
Awesome. Driving serenity and everything like that. So when you were rebuilding your life, what pieces of your identity did you have to leave behind? Right? Was it ego?
Lies.
Lies?
Falsehoods. I had to capture truth. It's a simple answer. That's why I cut you off.
No.
I had to become truthful. The first time that I was 1,000% honest with everything, faults, embarrassments, pride, ego, was rehab. First time, because I felt safe. I felt loved. I really did. I wish I could. My core of my existence of my consulting business is basically taking their beautiful framework of holistic care, nutrition, activities, mindset, performance, honesty and integrity, discipline, accountability. I have taken their thing, and when I did my wellness center in LA, Life Balance, that was the implementation just through different programs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like that's everything. My life's discipline is kind of their framework, their architecture with different moldings and different trim and different finishes. So it's 100% truth.
Yeah.
It's absolute brutal honesty. Like I've got a good friend in LA. I love him to death. He's my lawyer. And I was telling him a story the other night on the phone, and he's like, I said, a friend called me about something. He goes, oh shit, did he want the truth? I'm like, well, he called me for my advice. He goes, you're the one guy I always call when I got to hear the brutal truth and I don't want to hear it. You're the only person. He goes, I can call any of my friends and they'll co-sign it. They'll be like, yeah, dude, you know what? She's kind of an idiot too, though.
Yeah.
Right? And no, and my friend will call me like, now you're a fucking idiot. I go, did you even think about how she felt on that?
Yeah.
Do you hear what you said and how you directed it? Do you know when you said it to her? When she was most vulnerable is when you dropped that little nugget of information, whatever it is.
Whatever it could be.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, like, have you got no awareness of time and space? There's a right time and appropriate time. There's a compassionate way. There's an empathetic way, whatever it is, but it's brutal honesty.
Yeah.
So, and that when we talk about that, the brutal honesty is first here.
For yourself, yeah.
What did I do shit today? Where did I not show up today? Where am I, like, I talk about boundaries a lot with clients. And they're like, well, I've got boundaries. Like my mom doesn't. I said, no, fuck your mom.
Yeah.
What are your boundaries with yourself?
Yeah.
What will you not find acceptable of your own behavior? We're all so quick to say, that guy's a jerk. You hear he said grocery store to the lady, you know, or in the parking lot where the first one, the fucking guy took my spot.
Yeah.
Where's your boundary? Is that appropriate because you didn't get a parking spot? If that is to you, that's fine. Own it. I have nothing but a devout amount of respect for assholes that own it. Because they're truthful. You can be the biggest jerk in the world, but if I know what I'm getting when I meet with you,
then it is what it is.
You're not lying to me.
Yeah.
You're not a fraud. I will probably choose not to hang around an asshole.
Most likely.
But I know I can see you coming.
Yeah.
Right?
So when you did do the rebuilding, like what was the cost that it takes to rebuild your life that people don't talk about? Loneliness.
That would be the hardest thing. Reacquisition of time. So people don't realize how much time you put into your addiction or your failures or your bad habits. That doesn't have to be addiction-based. This is all life-based. Focusing on shit that doesn't matter, shit you can't fix, things that are out of your zeitgeist of repair. Worried about your neighbor's fucking fence.
Something that's inconsistent.
How many hours do you spend social media arguing with either a bot or a real person? To what end? To what end? Yeah, I'm going to convince a guy in Arkansas that Team Canada is, I'm just using this right now.
Yeah.
Team Canada's a better game. The fuck do I care about Tommy from Arkansas?
Yeah.
Seriously, but we're so invested. So time. You get this time back in the alcoholic apparatus and the drug apparatus. Times of consumption, times of sleep deprivation, times of hangover. I got back about 8 hours a day on average 7 days a week.
The hangover thing is a real thing for sure. I mean, I don't think I was as experienced as you were, but definitely the worst feeling is losing the day. You did it to yourself.
You did it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're sober. I would go to bed at like, because I was back in school. I'm back in curriculum, right? I was doing three degrees simul. I was getting my coaching, my applied holistic, and I was doing days and then weekends. So I was busy, and I had a personal trainer come in every morning. Shout out to Sarah. She was like a morning therapist without her even being a morning therapist.
Yeah.
Because I was learning every day about being sober, and like, but I'd go to bed around 10 o'clock at night, wake up around 6 a.m. Holy fuck, it's a long day when you're not hungover and you don't have plans. Meet somebody at 8 o'clock to have dinner, to start drinking for the 11 o'clock show up at the club that's going to last inevitably till 6 in the morning. Like all of a sudden I had all of this time. What the fuck do you do with it if the only thing you did with your time was drink?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be really aware of finding purpose in things that you want to either study or practice. Personal training was good. Working with clients was a huge thing for me. Kept my hand close to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Kept me, like I
grounded.
Somebody going through what I had gone through a year ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Their journey is not the same path, but they're climbing a mountain.
Still on that road.
Yeah, and you can be like, oh, fuck, I remember feeling that way. Oh, shit, don't ever put me back there. So it keeps me close. Some people want to distance themselves with trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I like to keep it kind of in my knapsack and just take a peek over once. I'm like, oh, fuck, you're right there.
It's tough because when it comes to trauma, you always, once you find that strength within and once you understand yourself, it's almost like a bad tattoo that you always need to look at.
You have to see it.
You have to see it, right?
Because you have to be aware of it.
Yeah, you do have to be very aware of it because, I mean, I can't remember exactly how the phrase goes, but it's like, basically, if you're, let's say you have trauma as a child because you were neglected and all this stuff, and you were beaten, let's say. Well, is that the reason why you have such great communication with your loved ones and you have so much protection? It's like in order to get the good, you have to understand and accept the bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And once you find that peace within yourself to accept the bad, then you can excel in the good as much as you want.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So I'm a true believer in that.
Trauma's a tool to be used.
Yeah, it's hard though.
It's a dull, broken axe that's got razor blades in the handle and rust on the blade.
Yeah, it's heavy.
And you gotta slowly build calluses to be able to grab the razors and not cut you anymore, or learn to dull the razors, or use the razors to sharpen the axe head, whatever.
Yeah.
Use the analogy, insert funny analogy here. But trauma can be a useful tool provided you manage it and you don't let it manage you. Trauma's and everybody's got a different bandwidth of dealing with it and healing from it. I've seen some people that can just light switch it by perspective shift. But to answer your other question, the other challenge was when you get sober, the challenge, I said time was kind of a gift back, but it was hard to manage, but lonely. That's the one thing I want to, if anybody's thinking about getting better, learn to really love you as fast as you can, because you're going to spend a lot of time with you. In the beginning, you're just your old acquaintances, and how do you bond in new relationships when you don't have that commonality that 89% and 90% of the population has? Going for a drink. I go out with my guy friends all the time now, and some of them get sauced, and some, actually, ironically, a lot of my guy friends are sober, not through recovery. They just grew up. Doesn't serve them anymore. All right. One of my good buddies a couple of them are actual recovering addicts, but we didn't meet in a program or something. You just end up finding your people. So patience and learn to love yourself. And that's a hard fucking thing to do.
Yeah. What did pressure reveal to yourself that comfort never could?
What did pressure reveal to myself that comfort never could? That's a really great question. Capability. If I think about it, the hardest things that I've either gone through or accomplished It's either the things that kept hurt me or the things that were hard to finish.
Mm.
Both of those, I would say it has to be competence, ability. Pressure has taught me that I can,
Mm-hmm.
under any circumstance, watch me, motherfucker,
Mm-hmm.
type attitude. And hurt on that side of the spectrum has taught me that I can overcome.
Yeah,
Capability, I think, in two different regions.
I've always said, and it's an overused term, but pressure either builds diamonds or bursts pipes, right? And it's your decision to decide if you're a diamond or a pipe.
Yeah, and I think look, there's some people that aren't going to be built for the hardships, and they're going to need. That's our society. We need to take care of the people that can't handle.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody, and I've seen it. I work with hundreds, if not thousands, of people in my private practice,
Mm-hmm.
and I invest my clinical colleagues hate me but love me because I don't invest I'm invested in their success
Mm-hmm.
more than a psych. Not I use this term broadly. Generally, you're an appointment. You come in, you tell me what's going on. Not in my case, but in a clinician setting. We'd sit down like this. What's up, Shane? How was your week? Did you work on this? Great. Keep your mindset going, blah, 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 blah. Let's go. And there's, of course, wonderful therapists that test you and challenge you and push you. I'm the one that is just fucking cheering for you, but you're not going to know I'm cheering because I'm hard on you.
Mm.
I'm like, you didn't come in here on fucking time. You came here with other shit in your mind. You're answering text messages. What the fuck's your problem? Do you want to have a meeting or not? Like, maybe you should come back next week. Go away. Like, I'm kind of a jerk. But behind the scenes, I'm just like, please fucking no, just figure it out. Like you've got all the tools. And I've seen some clients they're not ready. I shouldn't say never. They're not ready to open the tool bag yet. They want to carry around the tool bag and say they're a handyman, but they don't know how to use any of the tools in it. They've never opened it.
So how do you distinguish between who's ready and who just likes, because we all like the idea of change, right?
Yeah.
We all like to be like, I'm that person who changed. Who doesn't like to be that person who evolved? But how do you distinguish, how do you see a person who just likes the idea of changing, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to do this.
So there's two ways. Observation from people that I either know or not, that are either in therapy or working on change, that talk about it all the time, but there's no action.
Mm.
So I've heard people say, I'm going to do this whenever, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. What have you done? Show me what you've done. Don't tell me what you're going to do, number one. Number two is there's a misconception, and I see this all the time. I bite my tongue because I've got a lot of friends that do this. No, I saw my therapist this week. I'm like, yeah? What are you applying?
Mm-hmm.
The work is not coming to talk to me. That's the fucking recess.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a break from your life to tell me all your shit unjudged. You get to just rip to me. You get to riff with me, say, Shanna, fuck, I went to the office and this guy at the office, such an asshole, and fuck, I wanted to punch him, but I didn't. And no, it's good. It's good. Let it all out. No judgment. Right? Yelled at my wife. Shouldn't have yelled at my wife. Fuck, I know better than that. I'm embarrassed about that. Whatever. Right? I'm your recess. Whenever we put a protocol plan, devise a strategy,
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the week is when you apply it. So second thing is lack of application.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the show me what you've done. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Big factor. When I'm taking on a new client, there's only two things that I do. Two things that I do that determine, well, three, I guess, technically. First thing is I set the first meeting, 6 a.m. First time we're doing a consult, it's free, but it's 6 a.m. Sometimes being 5 a.m. Right? Earlier on time. And then I'm going to ask you some hard questions. And if I think you're lying, if you're skirting, if you're defensive, you're not ready for me. You're ready for help, but not this help. On time and honesty. Those are the only two things. You want help in this world to show up? Be honest. It's only two things you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I can't work around you making excuses why you're here to see me because you're fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You've met up with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
Somewhere-
told this.
Somewhere along the line, life got so fucked up that you found a fuck up to talk to.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're not meeting with Dr. Phil. You're meeting with Shane.
Yeah.
No, like you didn't, you found your way to the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm and arguably your last hope. and you're going to come in with excuses. Well, I only did it because. Get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
When you're ready to come back and be honest, we'll fucking talk. Because I'm not going to live in that bullshit.
Yeah, that's the point.
So on time honesty, show me what you've done, not what you do. Or what you do, not what you're going to do, what you've done. And then the other thing that I do with clients that pass the honesty and time thing is I give the simplest 2-week introduction, and you would be surprised how many clients I fire. I fire a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, I fire clients. Yeah. I fire 2 a week. 2 a week that don't meet up. It's to get into my program. Well, I call it a program, but there's no protocol specific, just my operational sequence.
Yeah.
To get into that Griffin Performance or GPSgroup.io, which is my website, to get into Griffin Performance and Strategy Group, it's a gauntlet. Like you're joining the Navy SEALs of repair. I don't look for new customers. I get 50 to 100 calls a week. People asking me referrals. I've worked with the most elite people in business, athletics, and entertainment. I'm fortunate. I'm gifted to be able to work with these because they actually like the pushback dude. They call me the Wendy from Billions. I think I told you that on the phone.
Yeah, the Wendy from Billions.
The Wendy from Billions, because I'm not like, come into my office, let's hug it out. I'm like, the fuck did you do?
Yeah, what happened?
What are you, fucking idiot? You know better than this. You didn't take the 2 seconds, breathe, strategize, rethink, optimize. You didn't do that. You just went, you just Windows 95'd it. You know? So like,
yeah.
So my second test with the clients, and this is, I'm kind of giving away my house here if people are going to cheat it, but I ask you to do the most basic journal at all between consult 1 and appointment number 1. And that is, before you go to bed, I want you to write down from 1 to 10, your energy for the day, your mood for the day. When you wake up, one other 1 to 10, how well you're rested. 1 to 10, a little box with 14 boxes to put a number in. I don't ask you to hydrate more. I don't ask you to go to bed at a fixed time. I don't ask you to eat organic. I don't ask you to walk backwards on a treadmill with knees over toes, dude. I like him, by the way.
Yeah, he's good.
But I don't ask you to do anything but write 3 numbers, 12 hours or 8 hours apart of your operational sequence. I forgot Saturday. I didn't do Monday. Shit, I didn't do Wednesday. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here. You're not ready for me because I'm going to hold you a lot more accountable than numbers. We're going to get deep. We're going to get deep, hard, quick. The hardest thing is going to work with friends. Friends will come to me. I'm like, I can't, dude. We're going to lose a friendship here.
Yeah.
You're not ready for it.
That's your boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not ready for me. I'll do protocols for friends all the time. And I just hand it to them and say, good luck. Call me with any questions.
And then we'll go.
Well, because I love my crew, right?
Yeah, of course.
I have one buddy, bless his heart, as they say in the South, bless his heart. He's like, dude, I'm not feeling good. I'm overweight. And I'm not, my knees and my back. And I'm like, bro, you get all your groceries at Costco every day. Like you just go in because it's convenient with a big shopping cart to get the shittiest beef, to get the shittiest chicken, to get the shittiest everything. You get this pretend cheese. Fuel yourself right.
Yeah.
So I did a whole protocol for him. Everything, dude, from the peps to the supplements to the sleeping patterns to the how you wake up with intention and focus, how you do self-discipline, autonomy, accountability, scheduling blocks. I call it the rule of 3s, right? I have simple thing that I do is I do this kind of calendar for everybody. The non-negotiables.
Yeah.
You got to get out of bed. You got to make your bed. If you have kids, you got to get them ready for school. You got to feed them something healthy, nutritious. You have to eat with your kids healthy and nutritious. Lead by example, not by words. Words are fucking stupid. I mean, that weird. I can tell you what to do all your life. If you don't see me doing it, you learn through witness. You don't learn through yelling. Never in this world have you helped somebody by screaming at them. Learn logic, right? Show, train, coach, guide. You are the living example of what to be. So I do the non-negotiables, and then I do a segment of 3 blocks. And those 3 blocks are the rules of 3s. I only want you to be able to accomplish 3 high-level items a day. You're not trying to do 10 things. You're not trying to do 50 things. And those high-level things, by the way, might be gym, Might be work, might be personal items. You might have a high level day of gym, personal stuff, and meditation. That's one of the things I want to accomplish. Fuck your job today. Most people have a job block in there all the time.
Yeah.
90% of people. But inside that job block, you might have several things to do, but they're blocks. And in between those blocks, we have 15-minute, 20-minute breaks, mental check-ins. All right. So after you've gone to the gym, don't run right back to the office. Don't run wherever. You sit. Where am I at? Check in. Then I also have a block somewhere in that same rule of three section for lunacy, chaos. It's a chaos block. So I'm in a meeting with you, and we're being very constructive in our meeting. And my phone goes off, and there's some shit with a job that I'm working on with you. Back to you. We finished the rule of one of the three. I know chaos is there. Chaos is not allowed to enter this meeting because I have a chaos window. And at 2:15, I pick that phone back up and I'm like, all right, let's deal with all the fucking chaos. Now we're going to get into it. Now I'm in the mindset of dealing with solving problems, lunacy, crazy chaos. All right, first thing is, hey, fucking text me like that shit again. I don't appreciate that tone, whatever. I'm not. That's the bad tone back. It's never had to respond to anybody, but
you thought it.
But you thought it.
But you thought it. But you articulated it way better.
Yeah, I would have used.
Because we're human.
I would have used AI to make myself sound nice.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
AI really has a high opinion of me.
That's hilarious.
You're a swell guy. So
Too funny.
and then at the evening, there's non-negotiables too. And then there's usually a revisit of today's events. There's a planning segment. There's a intention segment. Like just a simple thing of waking up in the morning before you jump out of bed, 10 deep breaths, relax your central nervous system, lower your cortisol. Most people wake up to an alarm of some kind.
Of some kind, yeah.
Fire alarm every morning just to shock your body away.
I know, it's pretty crazy.
Stupidest thing. You know,
Oh, fuck, I gotta go.
right? You run. I'm like, okay, so let's reset that. If you have to wake up that way, I mean, lights wake you up. There's different techniques we can use, but if you bare bone minimum have an Apple phone, you can do gradual. That's true too. There's apps for that now. But let's pretend you don't even up. Beep, 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 beep. You jump out of bed. Your cortisol levels are up. Your central nervous system is on fire. Everything is. You've already started your day.
What time is it? Yeah. What messages did I meet?
Sit right back down. Prop yourself up in your pillow. 10 times. In for 3, out for 4, in for 2, out for 6. I don't care which which one you want to do. In and out. On every exhale, set a little intention. People get this, they'll think I'm turning like yogi on them when I say, set your intention for the day. You might just not want to shit yourself. I don't want to poop my pants today. That's your intention. I don't give a shit if I'm going to be a better human.
Yeah.
I'm not going to shart. I'm 50 now. Farting can become sharding really quick, I've heard. Apparently, everything goes backwards. You go to baby at 50. I thought it was like 80. Nope. I got a video of buddies like, dude, don't trust a fart anymore.
Don't trust the fart.
I'm like, really? I'm like, how does that know how old I am? I don't live like it. Yeah. Anyways, sidebar, shit myself. There's your clip.
Yeah, there you go.
What happened when Shane came to your podcast? Shit himself. Shot himself in the foot and shit himself. But no, do 10 deep breaths. And intention is just, I'm going to return 20 emails today that I know. I'm going to do that one thing. I don't know, I'm picking on married guys a little bit, but if you're married, I'm going to do that one thing she's been asking me to do all month. I'm going to paint the fucking railing.
Yeah.
Set an intention. I'm going to be a better human. I'm going to hold the door for a stranger, look them in the eye and say, how are you today? And try to mean it.
So let's say a person starts doing that, they're watching, and at the end of the day, they're laying in bed, and that intention that they tried, they failed. How should they rebound from that?
Absolutely. Great question. So the end of the day cycle is a practice I do. You can't lie to your own eye. All right. Something it's a stupid phrase, but I coined it because I was doing it to myself. It's an amazing thing that we have the saboteur in the back of the head. It's telling us what a piece of shit we are, how lazy we are, or telling us how awesome we are if we're not. Depends on if you're kind of nuts or not, right? Over embellishing or underperforming. But usually it's a saboteur telling you you're not good enough. You'll never get that. You'll never do that. We listen to that guy. Never met him. Can't see him. You're too fat. You're too lazy. You're not good enough. You'll never get that girl. She's not interested in you. She doesn't like you. She doesn't want you. You know, listen. I did this practice with a client once. She broke into tears. I loved that she had this aha moment. Said, let's go in the bathroom. Look in the mirror and tell me all the things you just said to me in session.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I said, tell me everything. I got it written down. You can read it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fat. I'm lazy. I'm not a good mom. I'm a terrible wife. I never performed well at work. I'm never going to get a job. Like, I'm never going to get a raise. I'm barely making it. She said all these horrible things that you can't fucking say to yourself every day. All right. Cause you manifest who you are. If you say you're a piece of shit, don't trust the fart. You're going to become a piece of shit. You know, you have to. So the can't lie to your own eye is very simple. Say that to yourself in the mirror. Take the worst thing you think about yourself. Try it tonight. Whatever you think about yourself that you know that you've been saying on repeat, try to tell yourself, look yourself in the eye and say it. You'll either cry or you'll argue, defend yourself. Can't lie to yourself. You can lie in your head. Words, looking at you saying it.
Mm-hmm.
She got to, I'm fat. I'm not a good mom.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately. So the end of the day with the setting an intention, look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
There's two things we do. We always end with the second. The first one, what did I do shit today? I didn't get my intention done. I showed up late for 2 meetings. I was on my phone. Wasn't prepared. I was short with my kid when his lace broke at hockey. I don't care how dismissive it is. There's accountability of what you have not accomplished well that day.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. Doesn't mean you're a fucking idiot. Doesn't mean you're a failure. It means you are addressing it.
Mm-hmm.
You're acknowledging it. You're not even promising that you're going to do it better next time. You're just making yourself aware that you're not perfect. Okay, we've done that. And you don't want to go to bed on that mindset because you have guts like a terrible way. So what's the next thing we do? We switch the script. We pick up the positive book and we say, what did I do well today?
Mm-hmm.
Well, held the door for a lady at the thing. I was kind to the homeless guy. I was good with my kids. Came home a little early from work so that my wife didn't, it's going to sound sexist, please, I don't mean it this way. Wife didn't have to cook. I don't mean the wife have to cook, okay? Please understand that. I'm not even married. I do all the cooking, so. So I'm talking directly to camera at that one. No.
All right.
But, or I helped out around the house, or I did something. I took the kids to a movie so my partner could have time to do whatever my partner hasn't had time to do. I showed up.
Mm-hmm.
A good thing at the end of the day, if you have nothing, you think you've done well, I'm doing this.
Mm.
I'm talking to myself about trying to be better. That in and of itself is a proactive thing. You're at least stepping in the ring. You haven't gotten hit yet. The bell hasn't rung, but at least you're on the canvas, right? So, and you end with that. And then the very last thing before you go to bed, and this again, it's a structured thing I do with all my clients, every single one. You lay in bed, 10 deep breaths again before you get into your comfy position.
Yeah.
Right? And 10 deep breaths in every exhale. If you are sleeping with blankets on a pillow, you got something to be grateful for. So don't tell me you can't be grateful. Like, I love the anti-patriotic Canadians who are having to shit in our country so much about all of the change. And I'm like, bitch, you know how fucking good we got it?
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Skid Row in Los Angeles. I served Thanksgiving dinner there for 8 years on American Thanksgiving because I celebrated a Canadian one.
Yeah.
You know how good we got it? Even on our worst day
Mm-hmm.
in this country? No offense. Shout out to my Americans. I love y'all. But, and there's homeless and there's crisis, but like, if you've got a mattress and a pillow, you're fucking winning.
Yeah.
You're already winning. I don't care if you're behind on your mortgage. You had a mortgage. Even that you had a mortgage, you're winning.
Yeah. That's true.
I care. I do care. I care that you're behind. I care that the economics are hard. I am empathetic to that. But it's not always going to be a downspin. You will have an upcycle again. But you have to, and I do not like the term pull your bootstraps up. I fucking hate it. I've always hated it because you do need support.
Yeah.
You do need help. I would not be where I'm at without 3 critical conversations and then an abundance of love and support from Passages. And then the support from my family. The school I went to, they don't accept students without an interview with the the founder of the school. I was in rehab when I applied.
Oh, wow.
They said, when can you come in for an interview? I said, not for another 30 days.
Mm.
It was like 18 days then or something. I said, not for another 18 days. So why? I'm in California in rehab. That lady on the phone said, well, when you get out of rehab, or she could have said first, what are you in for? All right, that's a big curiosity. I say I went to rehab. I usually say meniscus, 30-day meniscus repair. Yeah. I went to rehab for meniscus. Yeah. Changed my life. I go, well, I stopped drinking and doing blow. Fucking amazing. So, but she on the phone, she didn't ask me anything. She said, oh, hun, good for you. She doesn't know me.
Yeah.
That's just a fucking nice person. That's a person you stand in the mirror and say, I was non-judgmental of some crazy fucker that called me from California to apply to nutrition school on Winford Drive off the Don Valley.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a gift. Be aware of the gifts around us, man.
Mm.
Jeff put us together through
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
It's a gift. I've met a new guy. I've seen a new gym. I'm going to train here. I've met you guys, you know, like we're surrounded by fucking epic shit. And half the time we're just walking around worried about, I don't know, the call with 6 men on the ice, and I'm watching this game. Like, you know, I was about to fly to Italy for game golf, full game tomorrow.
Yeah.
But like, temper your level of seriousness to what you need to be serious about.
Yeah.
Everybody's so quick to fucking just go all in on everything now. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What can I control?
Mm-hmm.
How I treat you and how I react from you. How I react, how you treat me.
Mm-hmm.
It's really what I can control in this world.
Mm-hmm. We haven't got to it yet, but protocol. How does the protocol work? I know you said you brought today.
I brought mine. Yeah, I brought mine. So I did this 2 days ago. I've been off protocol for about, I'm going to say 2 months, but it's 3. I was slacking for 3 months, and I decided enough's enough. Boating season's coming up. So protocol, the first thing I do is we sit, we talk.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I need to manage what you need, what you want, and then read between the lines of what you truly need, past the vanity cloak. So I'll give you an example of a client that I have. We sat, I know what they want. They want to be bikini ready for the summer.
That's usually what it is.
It doesn't, right?
Yeah.
And of course, with the peptides that are out there, the GLP 1, 2s, and 3s, Retta, which obviously is not FDA certified. Okay. If you have a good compounding pharmacy, if you're not getting it from some dude in the back closet.
Yeah.
Right. I happen to have a friend who owns a compounding pharmacy, so I know the purity, and
you trust it.
yeah, I'm looking at his derivatives and his data, and I wouldn't buy from anyone else, to be honest with you. There's another one that opened. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I won't tell you what the sourcing of it. But so she's like, I just want this Retta. Everybody's doing this Retta. I'm like, that's great. I said, how'd you sleep? How'd you diet? How often you go to the gym? Maybe 3 days last week. Okay, so Retta is the last thing I'm going to give you.
Mm-hmm.
As a honest health practitioner. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on nighttime, morning routine, scheduling. The stuff that is boring, slow, and difficult.
The effective stuff.
Do that, then I'll give you the cheat codes. So in my case, my protocol is I had a rotator cuff issue last year. I did 4 weeks of BPC and TB 500, avoided surgery, but it still needs a little more repair.
Mm-hmm.
So I start BPC and TB 500 next week. I'm doing MOTC for mitochondrial support.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll be doing BPC and TB is 20 IUs. I do them combined into 5 milligram, 5 milligram.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's a 10 milligram total hydrocrystallized. Break it down. I'll do 20 IUs of that each day. The MOTC will be 2 to 3 times a week, 10 IUs each time. Again, at a 5 milligram. I think it's 5. That's 10 milligram for the MOTC. Is its pure footprint before I bariostatic water additive it. I am doing a Retta for myself, but I'm doing a low dose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do 1 milligram. Most people are starting at 2 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing 1 because I don't really have a lot of excessive fat. I'm more worried about subcutaneous, any inflammation.
Yeah.
I'm going to do SS31 for inflammation in the body. I did mention I smoke. Smoke causes inflammation. I do a protocol food. So this is where it gets a little tricky with me because I'm not a carnivore, right? Like I'm not a carnivore diet. I don't like anything with the word diet in it, so I don't like diets.
Yeah.
I like strategies. So, but I do love steak, and I can eat a lot of it because I'm a member of Butcher Box.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to get my steak. So I'll eat 2 fillets every night, and I'll usually have a little couple chips, a little steak and frite if you're being fancy, or steak and fries. Steak and frites, Cavendish frites, drive-through style, a little bit of Himalayan sea salt, perfect. So it's like a cheat. It's like I'm kind of getting like a 4-ounce fillet is really just a burger that hasn't been all broken up, right? So I'm having 2 little burgers with no buns and some fries. Life is good. And I usually have 3 eggs every morning, 3 slips of pea meal, and I'll have about that much hash browns.
Mm.
Right. So when I say carnivore, there's a little bit of carb in there. However, with the retatrutide, because it depletes your appetite so much, and protein is great for muscle building, but carbs are better for energy cycling.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some compounding evidence, because we don't have a ton of data on it because it's only had a couple scientific studies. So a lot of it's arbitrary, pseudoscience,
Peacetime, yeah.
adjacent, right? So I've talked to a lot of my medical team. Thankfully, I've got a medical team in Los Angeles that is under contract with me, a medical director, a nurse practitioner that runs that division of my business. So I can bounce some stuff off her. And she usually is like, Jesus Christ, Shane, what are you doing this time? I'm like, well, I want to do it all at once, 8 weeks. She's like, why? You wouldn't even let a client do this. I'm like, yeah, but I'm different. I'm built different.
Yeah.
Right? I'm monitoring myself every night. I'm plugging in every night. Basically, I have a port,
Yeah.
checking heart rate, and I get my blood work done every month when I'm on anything. And I'll be doing,
You're on top of things.
yeah, and I'll be doing TRT. But again, low dose, real dose, not cycle,
Mm-hmm.
right? I hear these guys that are like, yo, I'm doing 400 milligrams. I'm like, you're not on TRT, you're on steroids.
Yeah, that's different. You're a
It's
plastic.
the same thing, but your volume is a little too much,
Yeah.
right? So I do like to stay within the confines, and I do 150 milligrams of test a week.
Yeah, but that, I believe that's like that's the
Okay.
standard dose.
Yeah, that's
the actual TRT.
yeah, I'm actually
dose.
doing a TRT dose. The only thing that I do is I don't like SIP, right? I use an anthate,
Mhm.
and I'll use 100 mils of that and 50 of mast.
Oh, fair.
So I am optimizing it a little bit different. Same, and because you get less estrogen,
Mhm.
right? Ester. You don't have to take a supplement that's going to stop the estrogen conversion. Why add another layer to it? Because the masterone doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And masterone is better than an anavar, because anavar is you're going to be taking a pill hard on liver. Recovering alcoholic liver's had enough,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we're going to try to give
Stay away.
liver's he's off for the next till bed, right? I kicked the shit out of him. He was a punch drunk boxer to make other people win fights for too long. You know what I mean? He was the guy that put him up against Shane. Build this thing. So I'll do that as a protocol and an outline. Then I'll do food. And then I've got like a full schedule. If you get like what time I wake up, what time I cold plunge. So I cold plunge in my lake. Fortunately, I live on Lake Simcoe.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a bubbler in there. So I've been in every day this year. Every day. And not the minus 30 days. I'm not going to lie. I didn't go in, but minus
I don't
20.
think anybody's beating you up for that one. Don't worry.
Yeah, minus 20 I was in. That's my threshold. I won't go past minus 20. It's the wind chill. The water actually feels great when it's minus 30 air temp.
Mm.
Not great. That's
Tolerable.
feels great. But you can, but because the wind is so, it's the getting out.
Yeah.
Did I didn't knock this off, did I? We're okay?
we're good.
All right. That little thing came. Sorry, folks. We'll edit that in. You have an editor, I forget.
We're good.
So I'll wake up, I'll do my intention, I'll have water with electrolytes. I will go out to my cold plunge. I usually put a fire on in my actual fireplace, log burning,
Mm-hmm.
before I go to cold plunge, reconstitute my body heat inside in front of a fire, natural heat. I love it. Then I'll go out, maybe come here, because we're gonna talk about working out here. We talked about, well, we already did talk about it, but I will do my personal training, and I have a sauna at home. So at the evening, last thing I do, shut off all electrical devices half an hour before bed, always.
And they get present.
Yeah, to get present. There's another reason for that psychosomatically is the information and data that we're receiving every day. We have not evolved to the level of our technology. I think we can all agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
In 1986, which sounds so soon ago for me, but it's really not. It's 40 years ago. But we are occipital lobe processed. I'm just going to, this is fact check, will be probably wrong, but let's just use a binary number. 10 million pieces of information a day, autonomous and decision-making. So driving to work, you just know you got to make a left turn. That's still a decision. So let's say there's 1 million pieces of data in there, 10 million. Because of technology, we've 50x to that. So I don't care if you had 10 pieces. I don't care if you had 1 million pieces of data. And the problem is it's all in the same highway, occipital lobe that is connected. The nerve endings connect right to your brain. It's your input. It's literally plugged into your brain. So you're sitting there processing. You've got like an exit ramp blockage. And people will watch their phones, watch their TV, right to bed and lie down and say, I didn't get a good night's sleep. Well, because you're still you might not be actually thinking about it, but your brain is still saying like, get off the road, get off the road. And that can last it doesn't take long, 15 to 20 minutes, just for your brain to kind of catch up. It's an analogy, but it makes sense. So I sit TV, everything off, usually just an old fashioned light bulb, right? And I will either listen to music or roll around the floor with my dog. Great time to take your animal for a walk right before bed, last little walk of the night. Just decompress for a minute. Let everything catch up, go upstairs, do your breathing exercises, which you do in bed. I'm not telling anybody to get the ding, get all.
Well, you did that really well.
I know.
Wait, what you doing?
The yoga studio.
Yeah.
So it's just chill. Give yourself a break and then go to bed. Start all over the next day.
Who is Shane now?
One word or how do you want to?
Not one word yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Shane is a independent, structured, empathetic, self-loving member of society. I can openly say I love me now. I couldn't before. It still makes me when I say it a little bit, because it's like, oh, fucking, you're so full of yourself. No, it took me a long time to be able to say that. I'm proud of that now. I didn't like me much. I used to say I loved me, but I didn't like me. I care greatly about my tribe, the people that are in it. I love giving back. There's nothing I love more than seeing other people do well. It's a great saying. It's going around Instagram or TikTok or one of them. It says, I looked in your cup to see if you had enough. You looked in mine to see if I had more. I've read that. See if you have enough. That's me. I'm the guy that says, you all right? I love that side of me. I love it. I am an inquisitive, crazy, chaotic, ambitious motherfucker. When it comes to like my protocols.
I know. I love it.
It's like 4 pages. It's on my fridge. When it comes to business, I've got literally the times of my injections, hypothetical considerations, just for myself. I already know what to do, but it's on the fucking fridge, right? Like it's posted. I just printed this copy for you today. Again,
I'm gonna steal it.
Obsessed. Well, I'll show you can keep it. Take a look at it. When it comes to building businesses strategically and stuff like that, I love the game. I don't give a shit if we do 20 million, if we do 50 million. Money will never define me. Character always will, but the game.
I can understand that.
I love that we create, like when you said nice packaging and I kind of thought, yeah, it's great. I fucking told AI what to do. It just simplified me drawing it.
Yeah, it was cool.
Right? Like we looked at it, we design it, and then I taste it and I flavor it. And then I'm like, okay, how are we going to present this to the market? Where do I want to stand in it? Okay, now what are we looking at for our COAs, and what is our tacos on this? And now are we going to run ads? What's our ads? And then they're just that whole process. And now I'm telling you, with fucking AI, oh my, I love it. Because now I can download all of these like Hello Profit, Helium 10, Amazon data sheets. Usually I'd be spending time looking at all this data. Now I can be like, hey, this is where I need to get. This is what I want to do. I want to be risk adverse, but I also want to be responsible. And now I have this collaborator in this world that can read the data faster than I'm possibly to, and I can now perform at an accelerated rate. It's like I'm on coke again, but good.
Good
you know,
Coke.
good Coke. Yeah, there's no.
And clip that.
Yeah, good Coke.
Let me ask you though, because Stacey and we're not much huge AI chat GPT people, but if people want to use chat for the right reasons, you were speaking to Aaron before about like you have a whole profile on which one to use for this and that. Give us a lowdown on like, and the audience, like which ones are best for, in your opinion, for certain situations.
Okay, so I was a chat GPT 1000% all the way through, up until probably the last month and a half. I had chat summarize the amount of conversations I've had and the amount of files I've had, the amount of hours spent in conversation at the end of the calendar year of 2025.
Yeah.
I have almost a month of talking.
Oh, wow.
I drive everywhere.
Yeah.
And I literally converse with it. Like I'm like, hey, so I've got protocols, I've got business launches, I've got meetings, I have agendas, I have goals, I have my own protocols. I talk about everything. I bounce off everything. So ChatGPT, I think, is great. The Grok is a little bit looser on the guardrails. So now we're talking about protocols, peptides, and things like that. As long as you frame it safely, where you're saying hypothetically. So like I have my medical team, I have my own plan. But my plan can be biased because I live in Shane. I can't separate Shane from the client all the time. So I'll say to Chad, hey, this is what I'm thinking. I met with this guy and I record all of my meetings, my consults, and I'll download them into, is it Otterly? Is that the one you use? I don't know if you know it. I think it's Otter.
Otter, yeah.
Otter.ai, yeah. So that downloads, it gives you kind of Coles notes, but you can take the whole text, upload it into chat, be like, hey, what's the bullet points here? Am I missing anything with what this client is asking for? Here's what I developed. And it'll articulate it, but you have to ask it to disagree with you. Otherwise, it's going to be a cheerleader. Like 90% of my conversations, like, I don't need you to tell me I'm fucking good. I need you to tell me where I'm an idiot. I need you to challenge me. We're debating here. So it's how you pros them. Grok has gotten better because you can use it in a wider berth for some of the things that are not, I'm going to say chat's been co-opted a little bit. Sorry. It's here. It feels been co-opted, like what we used to have honest conversations about. It's like, I can't comment on that any longer.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, do you have investor money? It's like somebody, do you know you'd be modified?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, well, things evolve. And I'm like, I'm arguing with the machine change. Stop it. You're an idiot. What are you doing? You're driving your car getting mad
Yeah.
at ones and zeros. You know?
It's true.
You know, so Grok is good. You mentioned Claude. I have just downloaded it. I haven't really gotten into it yet. My friend of mine in LA also mentions Claude. But primarily I was chat. And chat, I think, is great for development, for goals, for structure. It's great for giving you documental formats. So like if you need, I do it. One of my biggest downfalls is I'm dyslexic, right? One of my other conditions that is I have chronic depression. So I was diagnosed in rehab with dyslexia. Of course, I got ADHD. Who the fuck doesn't that does cocaine? I mean, that just...
It's funny.
Well, it's Adderall for the street guy. I mean, that's what it is, right? Some people had rich parents. They got them Adderall. I didn't have rich parents. I did cocaine. You know, they do the same things.
Yeah.
Pharmacology-wise, they do actually. My therapist taught me that. He's like, you're just self-medicating to feel normal. I'm like, yeah, go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that way.
Sure, doc. How much am I paying you? Sean is brilliant. We had a great report. Sean's amazing. I love Sean. He was also a big contributing factor. But where the fuck was I going with that now?
Chat's great with is it brainstorming's good too?
Brainstorming, working collectively, downloading documents. Like if you say, I want this in a word. Oh, I was saying that one of my downfalls is presenting proposals and thorough protocols in a typed format like this. I hated doing it. And I would literally not take a client because I'm like, oh, it's going to be a lot of work for me to write. And I have had assistants, but it's such a shit thing to have to take notes for me. I'm fucking crazy. Like, that's not fair to anyone. It's just mean. So this is like...
So put it on chat.
Yeah. So
Chat's your assistant.
Chat has no feelings.
Yeah. Wait,
You know?
you talk to chat?
I do.
What voice did you set it to?
Oh, no. I always dictate and read back. I don't like the voice, but I do have... It is a female on mine, but it's funny that it's a female in the voice, But when I'm talking to it through my texts, bro, hey, bud, what's shaking? How you doing today? You know, it's always that. But then it's like, who are you? Yeah. And then once in a while, because if I am driving, I will talk to it once in a while, obviously safer I can't, you know, and I have the conversation.
Yeah, of course.
I find it's a little delayed. It doesn't feel as real, like how we're talking, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not human. But I will have a conversation with, like I do, dude, I did an entire forecast model. So I told you before that my businesses are based in the U.S. Sanacopia, which is the electrolytes. VPC Inc., which is my holding company, my investment portfolio down there that does the investment to my startups. In Canada, I have GPSgroup.io, which just really got started because I had WLB Inc. in the States, which was my consulting firm down there. I'm now pipelining the consulting to Canada, so all my out. Anyways, I have money in the States, I have money in Canada, and I want to figure out how to get my money in the States back to Canada in the most legal way, in a tax protected way. And it's you're dealing with US IRS, Canadian CRA, accountants that don't talk to each other but need to come together. And I'm like literally going, okay, I've got X amount of losses in this holding company. This many are operational. This many are shareholders' loans. I'm consulting to this business. I went through a whole thing with chat saying, and I'm honest with it. That's the crazy thing. I'm like, here's where I'm at. I got $2 in this bank account. I got $3 in that bank account. I need to get the $3 to the $2, but I want to do it within law. Don't want to break any rules, but I don't own 100% of the $3 account. That's a shared account. So I need to be able to give it everything that you can think of. And I'm like, how to do it? And so, well, you know, you could do it this way. After 3 or 4 hours of talking on different nights, I developed a tax strategy plan to repatriate, I won't say the number, a significant amount of money back to Canada that was invested money down in the States. It's now going to be tax-free in Canada. The business is only going to be taxed on 20% of the income because of the shareholder's loan. It's all 100%. I ran it by my 2 accountants, and they're like, who the fuck, did you hire somebody else? I'm like, I have chat.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, this is an amazing strategy. And I'm like, well, you two should have thought about that because you're $200 an hour and you're equivalent to $200 an hour. You're Canadians, you're $75 an hour.
Yeah.
Right? So, or you're you know, like, you know, I mean, you should be 200, but we're paying you 75.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, I love it. I love it. I honestly, I was joking with my Amazon team member just yesterday because we're talking about scaling again. All right. I wanted to have a seed year and then a harvest next year. Our numbers are so good. He's like, I think we got to go 10,000 units. I'm like, oh man, that means I don't get paid for another year. It's 10,000 a month, right? So I'm like, oh fuck, I kind of wanted to get a little bit of money this year back. I got, you know, bills and I'm contemplating it, but I'm like, I can't believe we've done this in 15 months. He's like, I said, I don't think we would have been able to do this without AI. Because the strategy, the structure, the discipline. So it's how you ask it. It's how you prompt it. You cannot.
Just what I've been reading. That's important for everybody.
Prompt is extremely important. How you phrase what you want to give it, what you want back from it. And just like a therapist, not that it's a therapist, I'm not even suggesting that. But if you don't come in with honesty, you're going to get a narrative that you want. You're going to be part of that echo chamber of going to the demonstration where everybody agrees with you.
Yeah.
He's bad. I know. You know, like, right?
Yeah,
it's like, I agree, you know?
Yeah, like that's the biggest challenge for me is getting it to disagree with me when I'm wrong. Like I've put in prompts in the like general instructions, like to never like agree with me just because, like if you literally think I can't get it to disagree with me.
Well, because you're fucking right.
I wish.
I mean, the only clear answer is you are brilliant, sir. And you've never been wrong, nor will you ever. But no, I have to ask one. So I'm like, hey, I'll cut it off. Say, no. Start over. You don't need to tell me, hey, great idea, Shane. It's a not idea. Me running a marathon in a snowsuit is not a smart idea. Like, so don't even go there. Like, you're not critical analysis. But I have to ask it all the time. You know, and I'm like, I know me. I ain't that bright, bro. Stop it. Feels good. You know, but like, let's stop it. You know?
Okay, so before we bring this home, I asked you before when we talked a couple of weeks ago, but what is alpha? What does alpha mean to you?
Yeah, we did. I forgot my answer then, but I hope it's still the same. I think alpha is, this is stolen, is the saying that you don't know so let me back this up. You don't know the violence it took to be this calm. I love that thought process, but I want to extrapolate that better. Alpha to me is somebody that doesn't need to prove they're alpha. Alpha to me is somebody that's full of compassion and kindness, can protect when necessary, but doesn't have to bark at everything that walks by. Alpha is the type of person that, and I don't like the idea of saying like old school lifestyle stuff, because kind of been co-opted by Make America Great Again mantra. But the idea that you are to protect, to provide, that does not mean you can't nurture and love. That does not mean that anybody else can't protect and provide on your behalf when times are tough. But I think as a man, our calling, if we're going to be alpha, and a female too for that matter, is you stand up for what's right when it's hard. You don't bark at everything that walks by. But you can show power when necessary because you have it. Alpha is the quiet guy in the room that can contain a situation.
I agree.
You know, I like the idea of, if I could put myself into a little film snippet, it's weird, I'm going into my front bar at Therapy Lounge right now in my head, and I can see myself staying in the back corner, looking at the security, looking at the other security and going, about to be a problem. And any friends coming behind me. That's never really happened. I'm not saying that people wind up behind me to protect them, but in my brain, that would be alpha. As when everyone's like, shit, get near him, it'll be okay. That's power to me. And a positive power. When people gravitate towards you when things are tough, it's wisdom, means you're reliable, means you're dependable. That's my goal. My goal is to be better every day, but to be reliable and dependable and compassionate, but also not a pushover where, somebody's like, we're talking about the help, come to me with honest and truth or get the fuck out of my office. Situational office.
Situational office.
Yeah. Like it's usually a phone or meeting or
an office is what you make it.
Yeah.
So where should they look out for you? Let's all socials, how they can find you, all that good stuff.
Instagram is Shane Griffin LA. Right. It's still LA because I lived there at one point in time. People can say are going to make it Shane Griffin TO. No. No. The best way for anything requiring assistance in protocols, consultation, help, crisis, if somebody's out there, and I mean this seriously, somebody's listening to this and you are at the end of your rope and you don't know what the fuck to do, intake at gpsgroup.io. The email will come right to my phone. I have helped more people pro bono than I charge. Some of my best clients, my favorite clients, are the people that came to me through desperation. I believe in humans, helping humans. I have a tremendous wealth of knowledge, book and street, on survival of yourself.
Yeah, clearly.
So intake at gpsgroup.io, at Shane Griffin LA are my handles. Sanacopia is an Amazon product. Go into Amazon, switch the country to .com. It'll pop up. We do ship to Canada. I hate asking my fellow Canadians to spend $39 with the exchange for the intake, but feel free. It's a good product.
It is a good product. Anything else?
No, man. I just want to thank Jeff, actually. I wanted to give Jeff a quick shout out from Smash Burgos.
I told him I want to get him on too. I think great.
Well, he put us together, and I appreciate somebody that's got a busy world and single dad and running a food truck, and he thought about me and you, and that's awfully considerate of him.
I think so too.
Because that thought could have popped in and popped out and not been activated. It's that show me what you did, not what you're going to do thing.
It's true.
So, and I want to give him an applaud, and I want to thank you kindly
Of course.
For reaching out and setting this up on a Saturday. Yeah, this was fun. And you guys.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I'm sorry that you had to hear me yabber for so long.
No, man. We could definitely talk for longer, and anytime you want to come back on, I'd be more than happy to hear more.
I love it, my man.
All right. Appreciate you. Guys, if you're listening on Spotify, make sure to share, follow him. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 100, and we can't wait for you guys to watch what we're doing next. Ciao.